everyone looks at certain things. You got to scratch below the surface. I mean, I think this was self-funded, right?
Yes.
This music. So, right, good for you for it. And no shade, Candy Gal, but if you're self-funding something, it's not exactly a booming, you're not
making money from it. But a lot of these artists are self-funding their music nowadays because labels are crooks, and they're also not putting the money into Black women. They're not putting money into women. They're not putting money into R&B music. So a lot of that has to be self-funded at this point. And we're in an era where you can do that.
Yes.
Back in the day when I was an artist, you couldn't do that. So
we would never have a podcast back in the day as I lose my voice. Like, I mean, right? Can you imagine if you're just sitting around waiting? I mean, we might, but not really. I mean,
not to the everybody and their mama has a podcast at this point.
Yes.
But not everyone has quality.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. You know what I mean? So I would be interested to see what their stories will be for next season. And one of the things I said recently, because you always hear this storyline. For me, it's not about storyline. I want to kind of get away from using the word storyline. No, we need you to be interesting. We need you to be, entertaining. Because to me, you don't need to have a storyline if you're funny. Karen Ugert hasn't had a storyline.
Yeah.
Or she's avoiding her real storyline. But she's entertaining. She's funny. She gets in there with the girls, and if they come for her, she has a good reaction that's entertaining for the audience. So it's not about storyline. It's about, are they entertaining? Are they interesting? Robin, you're not interesting.
No. I would agree with all of that. What about, we said she's the Lisa Rinna of Beverly Hills. How do you feel about, I mean, Lisa Rinna's gone. We all know this. How do
she's
we
a
feel?
fashionista now.
She is a fashionista now. Do you believe, because I've had debates with people on this, where do you fall of is she, was she in on the joke? Does she love life now? Is she like, look, you signed up, you told me to do the job, I owned it, I did the job, I gave my all, and now I'm fired, and so I don't need to care anymore. So of course I'm in Paris Fashion Week, and it's over. I don't need to care. So is she truly moved on and loving her life, like her social media has led us to believe that she is a fashionista, to quote you, and she's loving life, or is she just I gotta try and I gotta post? And I'm not leading you. This is not a leading question. No. Or is she trying too hard to say, guys, I'm over it, please? I'm in Paris, baby.
Honestly, the way that she's handled this, I have to applaud her, because there are so many other housewives that are let go, because I know she wants to say it was a mutual decision, but we know what that is.
Yes.
But I have to applaud her because other housewives have sort of disappeared or ends up attacking the network. No, she was like, you know what? I'm going to, as you said, become this fashionista, go to Paris Fashion Week. And although I don't believe her in these interviews that she's been doing, I can, now that I'm looking back at it, because I don't think about Lisa Rinna like that, but now that we're having this conversation, I'm like, you know what? That's actually pretty good, because although I know she is bothered, but this has always been her thing. She loses one job, she's just like, let me get on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So I applaud her for that. Look at me finding nice things to say about Lisa Rinna.
I mean,
I'm proud of myself today.
I'm proud of you too. No, I mean, I think, listen, I'm not saying she was Nicole Kidman, but she did have a career. Now, I am biased because I love Melrose Place, and I think it's one of the best shows that's ever existed. But she did have a career before this. All I'm saying is I have a friend who works for one of the entertainment news, Access. We'll just say that. I mean, I'm always some huge executive producer, and he's like, don't ever mention my name on your show. I'm like, thank you very much. He's just one of those, whatever. And that's neither here nor there. And so he'll tell me they will have on Teresa, they'll have on a Sutton. He's like, no, we get pitched all the time. We would never have a Jennifer Aiden or, the real shows don't take housewives on them.
They have that stigma.
They take Lisa. Lisa she can book real interviews. She was on Hoda and Kathy Lee. Yes. She hosted a talk with Jerry O'Connell. There is, love her or hate her, but she has some clout. Now, she's not Nicole Kidman. She's not,
Do you think that's partially because of Harry as well?
I don't think that hurts.
But like you said, she was an actress before this. So, was she a great actress before this? That's debatable.
Right. I don't think she's getting put in, a movie opposite Tom Cruise or George Clooney. But she has enough that, you know, listen, I say this all the time, most of these housewives cannot even get invited to walk into a fashion show in Paris at Paris Fashion Week. That's hard.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, she's walking, she's sitting front row. Like Sutton can be invited because she actually is a client who spends money.
Yeah.
But,
she bought her way? Is that what you're saying,
well,
David?
I mean, listen, honey, I got nothing wrong with buying your way into anything, like if you can afford it. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know who else. I don't want to pick on, like, okay, we'll go back to Giselle Bryan. I mean, I guess just because I don't think she's allowed in a fashion show in Paris. You think so?
Giselle Bryan, first of all, we just need her to get her fashion together.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like,
then we'll work our way into a fashion show.
It's hard. It's even New York fashion. It's hard to get an invite. It really is.
It's a stigma, which is interesting because, you know, here in New York Fashion Week is not what New York Fashion Week used to be. It's now a lot of influencers, TikTok influencers, and no shade to them. Look, we're both content creators. But I also remember old New York and what that used to look like.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, and NeNe was one of the first to sort of like break that wall of entertainment where they weren't really trying to put any of these housewives on magazine covers or in shows. So she was sort of like the first to kind of break that wall. But there still is sort of this stigma of reality stars where, you know, people are like, no. You know, and also Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is one of the people who sort of like broke that wall of being on these high fashion magazines and that, you know, part of these big brands.
Do you love the Kardashians?
Really?
Is that a no?
I like them in the early years before all this. The other. I don't think she's a terrible person. Oh, maybe a little bit. No, maybe a little bit. Her husband's worse, but
yes,
yeah. But I'm not into their like. I haven't been into them since maybe past the second season.
Since you knew that every word that comes out of their mouth is edited and approved by Chris and Kim.
Especially now. They've been caught out there with their new Hulu reality show. How many things have been so like edited and the timelines aren't matching up?
This is how Hulu got them. They were like, not only will we pay you whatever, like we have no control. Like it's your show. Yeah. Let us. And
they don't care
put
because
this out.
people are watching.
They don't care.
And I want to know who these people are.
Listen, I love the Kardashians. Mm-hmm. I just from life have fallen behind. I would like to watch both of the seasons. No. I just haven't had a moment.
Damn, there's 2 seasons. I watched the first episode of the first season, and I was just like, it looks pretty. I like the cinematography, but
it's scripted. It's heavily scripted.
Like, and then the vocal fry for me, I'm like,
you're over it.
I'm like, let's.
Do you think, like, is Rinna, right, we all know what happened. She didn't quit. Like, is this good? Is this good that she's gone? Are you happy? Like, where do you stand? Or is it like, no, she was great for the show? And, I mean, they just started filming.
I think she was great for the show